Turning now to your community focus, does it seem like you're hearing more about Tripoli and West Nile virus this year? Well, both have been detected in humans in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, and those mosquitoes are going to be sticking around until there's a hard frost. So here to talk about everything you need to know about the risks of these illnesses is Dr. Leonard Mermel. He's the medical director of the Department of Epidemiology and Infection Control at Lifespan. Thanks for being here.
Pleasure to be here.
So I know you spent a lot of time researching these illnesses, also treating patients who have been infected with them. First, can you just talk us through the differences between West Nile virus and Tripoli?
Sure. Both viruses are transmitted by mosquitoes, so that's something they have in common. Both are what we call neuroinvasive viruses that can infect the brain. Although the number of people that get a mosquito bite with an infected mosquito and actually end up with a brain infection are actually quite low with both West Nile and Tripoli. One of the big differences is outcomes. Tripoli has a higher fatality rate, 30% compared to 3 to 7% for West Nile virus. West Nile is not generally as serious an illness. West Nile can be associated with paralysis, unlike Tripoli, particularly the lower extremities. Unfortunately, both we don't have a specific FDA-approved treatment, and we don't have an approved human vaccine for either one.
So you mentioned a lot of people get mosquito bites. Not many people present with these viruses. Who is most at risk for contracting them?
Most at risk for contracting symptomatic Tripoli or West Nile virus are the two spectrums of age, the quite young in particular, with some of these infants in particular, as well as those in the older age groups.
And Tripoli is the more dangerous virus.
It is absolutely the more dangerous, yes.
So we saw a case of Tripoli, a human case of Tripoli in Rhode Island back in 2019. We haven't seen one since. We
had 4 cases, actually. We managed at Rhode Island Hospital. We had 10% of all the cases in the U.S. that were diagnosed we had in Rhode Island, and that we treated at that time.
So why is it that we haven't seen the virus since then? Why is it more prevalent this year?
So it turns out the likelihood of Tripoli human cases has to do with the amount of precipitation over the several months prior to the summer, when the mosquitoes that transmitted are breeding and larval stages, so they can survive. They're in little pools, basically in swamps, and if those dry out, the larvae will die, won't get to be an adult mosquito. However, if there's a lot of rain, they survive, so that has to do with the likelihood of mosquitoes surviving the several months and then transmitting in the summer. Also, high temperatures are associated with increased risk of Tripoli.
So just quickly before we let you go, we've heard in the past about Zika, for example. What other mosquito-borne illnesses should people be aware of?
Yeah, I think dengue fever is one in particular. There's a very large increase in this mosquito-borne illness, which also has no directed therapy in Central and South America. And there have been some cases in the U.S. without foreign travel, particularly in some of the southern states. So if people are going to go to an area, Central South America, where they have dengue fever, which can be quite serious, use the same precautions that we use here in terms of insect repellents, long sleeve clothes, and reducing risk by not staying out much dawn and dusk.
Fantastic information, Dr. Leonard Mermel. Thanks so much for being here.
My great pleasure. Thanks for having me.